What's up, everybody? Andrew Mahone here with Tricky Jim at Full Grip Games. Going to be showing off Zach Lesage's first place Blacephalon deck from the Collinsville Regional Championships today. But before I do, I've got a giveaway. We're going to be giving away this super sick Snorlax and Eevee mat from the Collinsville Regional Championships. Check out that artwork. It is incredible. I absolutely love this thing. I'm excited to give it away to one of my lucky Patreon subs. So big shout out to everybody who supports me on Patreon. Love you guys. You guys really make a huge difference in the success of this channel. If you want more information on that, you can check it out in the description below. But without further delay, I am going to shuffle all these Patreon sub names into my Mahone hat here. Show off my hat hair, which is in force today, and select a lucky winner for the Snorlax and Eevee mat. And it appears as if our winner today is going to be Jessica Viavatine. Okay, sorry if I messed your name up. Jessica Viavatine. There we go. Jessica V, you are the winner of the Snorlax and Eevee tag team mat. Thank you so much for your support, as well as everybody else on Patreon. Thank you guys. Y'all rock. Also want to shout out that I'm going to be creating an exclusive video for my Wartortle tier Patreon subs. It's going to be coming out within the next few days about my thoughts on expanded format and the upcoming Toronto Regional Championships, how Team Up affects that format. More details on that and more in the description below on my Patreon page. Here we go. This is Zach Lesage's first place Collinsville Regional Championship Blacephalon list. Pretty simple and straightforward, only a couple cards different from his top 32 deck at the Oceania International Championships. As you can see, we now have an Alolan Grimer and an Alolan Muk on board, as well as a Ditto Prism Star. He just chopped a few cards. He cut one of the Poipole, and you can see that he plays the Spit Poison Poipole, which is an interesting choice. It can do some damage with that Spit Poison attack. I cut one Poipole for a Ditto Prism Star here, and then cut both choice bands that were in his list for an Alolan Grimer and an Alolan Muk. Alolan Muk does a lot of work against Zapdos, which is one of Blacephalon's worst matchups. And I really like that the Alolan Grimer here is the psychic type that can be searched out with Mysterious Treasure. We also have a couple copies of Erika's Hospitality, which is new from Team Up and just adds some excellent draw support to this already proven and aggressive deck. Very straightforward. A lot of people didn't think that Blacephalon had the chops to compete with some of the top new threats from Team Up, but lo and behold, it was able to topple all 1,000 competitors on the Masters level at Collinsville and take that #1 spot against the odds. So awesome job by Zach here. I'm excited to give this list a roll on PTCGO. Blacephalon is a deck that's just super aggressive, obviously gets in there very early with that Burst GX. It can also knock out some of the biggest threats in standard format. And what I think is crazy about the way that the meta had shaped up heading into the Collinsville Regional Championships is that nobody was planning for Blacephalon. It was not on anybody's radar. All of the Zoroark decks were teched to beat Zapdos instead, which just led to easy dub, which just led to an absolute atrocious finals match between Danny Altavilla and Zach Lesage. Zach was just able to get in there and take huge one-hit KOs, while Danny's deck had literally no answer for Zach's Blacephalons. He didn't even have Devoured Field. The Devoured Field Choice Band Kukui combo is absolutely necessary in order to take one-hit KOs on these Blacephalons. All he had was Dangerous Rogue. That was it, and that is not going to be enough to take out a field of Blacephalon. So going in and two-hit KOing Blacephalon with Zoroark, while Blacephalon is one-hit KOing all of your Pokemon in return. It was just absolutely devastating and not something that Danny was able to overcome. Though I will say Danny's list was super consistent, very powerful. I lost to it twice, both day 1 and day 2, so I could definitely attest to the fact that Danny's list was good. It was just not constructed to deal with this beast that is Blacephalon. I'm not going to lie, I'm excited that Blacephalon is still a relevant factor in standard format. It's one of my favorite decks as well. So I have no qualms with that whatsoever. The deck is a powerhouse. I'm excited to see what my opponent is playing here. They seem to got some sort of Zapdos, Alolan Vulpix, maybe Ninetales, combination thing going on here. It does seem to be a Shrine deck. So we've got a Cynthia in this opening hand as well as a Mysterious Treasure. I'll gladly just go in and get myself another Poipole. We're not going to grab like a Marshadow or anything like that. I don't really have a stable setup yet. So we'll just Cynthia, draw 6 new cards, and see what we're looking like here. We got an Ultra Ball and an Ultra Space. That's very good. I can get myself a Blacephalon with the Ultra Space, then potentially go in next turn with like Ultra Ball and then Lillie for some more cards. So I am just going to get that Blacephalon so that I can attach my Beast Energy to it. And I guess I could Ultra Ball away Beast Ring and Naganadel for a Ditto if I wanted to, but I think I'm cool here. I'm not super worried about this yet. My opponent doesn't seem to be doing too much on their side, so maybe I'll be wrong, but I'm thinking that I'm safe for at least a turn unless they have Alolan Ninetales, maybe get themselves like a switch, and then can Guzma up my other Poipole. That would be a little annoying, but since I do have the Beast Energy on my Blacephalon, I'm pretty much guaranteed that I'll be able to knock out this Zapdos next turn. Not super worried about that. So my opponent does have Volkner, though, so they're going to be able to get themselves Lightning Energy and Nest Ball, it appears. Very cool. We'll see what they get with Nest Ball. Still trying to figure out my opponent's deck and what they got going on. I don't think I've ever seen Zapdos paired up with Alolan Vulpix or Alolan Ninetales, though I did see some stall decks playing the Alolan Ninetales to help get the Vileplume out into play, which I thought was an interesting combination that I did not see coming at Collinsville. So very interesting there. We do have a switch card coming down, so my opponent is going to knock out my active Poipole here with Thunderous Assault. Maybe the Alolan Ninetales are just to keep these guys attacking. Maybe it's in alternative to the Jirachi strategy, which I think is really interesting because Alolan Ninetales obviously can get around Alolan Muk. So that would be a very cool kind of inclusion that my opponent has decided to use. Let's see. We are going to grab ourselves another Poipole, I believe, and just go ahead and take this knockout on the active Zapdos. That seems fine. I don't think that Muk is going to be as valuable in this matchup as it appears my opponent has replaced the Jirachis with some Ninetales. We're going to get rid of the Hospitality and the Beast Ring here and just get myself another Pokemon. I am thinking probably a second Blacephalon seems fine. And then let's just Lillie for a bunch here and see what we get. We're looking for Fire Energy, which we got. Very, very good. So we've got that. We've got Charge Up. I've got a Naganadel for next turn here. I could get myself another Poipole if I wanted to. I could get myself a Ditto or something like that as well, but I think I kind of want to save my hand. I'm thinking that Burst GX could actually just be the play here as I kind of build up my board. I don't mind that terribly, so that seems fine. Let's just go in and do that. I'm just going to Burst GX, see what I could do, and if my opponent puts a Ninetales into play, I'm going to love that because then I will have the Guzma knockout on an Alolan Ninetales. Looks like my opponent's also playing this Meow, spoil the fun. If you go second, this attack does 60 more damage during a first turn, so an excellent starter. But that Persian is also a pretty cool attacker. Alolan Persian, I forget exactly what it does, but kind of a cool free attacker that you can use. It appears as if maybe my opponent's deck is going for this low energy cost, low maintenance kind of strategy here, comboed with Alolan Ninetales as a consistency boost. Well, it looks like they've got everything they need here for Guzma and knockout on my Poipole, which is a little bit concerning for sure. I mean, I'd only play 3 of these, And it looks like now I have a Ditto down and 2 Poipoles. So I have my 1 Naganadel is going to have to just go the distance. All right. That's fine. No worries. I can utilize Beast Ring this turn, which is good. Let's take a look at Ultra Space. Yes, lo and behold, there are none left in here. Okay. That's fine. I think we're just looking for another Blacephalon maybe, or I could get a Naganadel to Ultra Ball away, which could be fine. I could see it at this point. That just seems good. Thinning my deck. Very strong. So we'll Ultra Ball away Naganadels here. I just want to draw cards. I don't think I necessarily want to put my, well, my Lele is not in deck, so that's not an option. I think it's looking like it's about Marshadow time, which is fine. Do that. We can Mysterious Treasure. I guess I could have gotten another Blacephalon out into play just in case I hit like a ridiculous number of Beast Rings this turn. So maybe I should have Ultra Balled for a Blacephalon and Mysterious Treasured for the Marshadow, but it's fine. We're here now. So we'll, I think getting the Alolan Grimer doesn't seem bad, but I don't think that my opponent actually plays Jirachi, so I think I'm just going to fail that. It's fine. And we'll attach to the bench Blacephalon and just let loose here and draw ourselves 4 new cards, limit my opponent to 4 cards, and we did get a Beast Ring, which is very good. But at this point, I don't know if I can handle this kind of just aggression from this Zapdos deck that doesn't play Jirachi. My opponent is not going to get slowed down at all by Alolan Muk. So it just seems bad no matter which way I cut it up. I already know that they do play Shrine of Punishment as well, so if they get that Shrine out, that could be kind of nasty too. Let's just go with these 2. Well, we'll go with those 2. Sure. Keep my Beast Energy on the active so that I can do 130 and go down to 4 prizes. I think that this is the main reason why a lot of players were not keyed into Blacephalon heading into Collinsville. It just has a tough Zapdos matchup. The non-GX matchup's not fantastic. But, you know, I mean, Zach was able to neutralize a lot of that with the Alolan Muk. We see here, though, this version has not needed it. What are we seeing here? We've got Alolan Persian, which does Empty Threat. This attack does 30 less damage times the amount of energy attached to your opponent's active Pokemon. So I guess if I have 0 energy on my active Pokemon, then it can do 90, which is pretty good. But most of the times, active Pokemon are going to have energy attached to them. So maybe this deck is not playing Electro Power. It's just a Zapdos, Shrine, Alolan Persian deck or something like that. Either way, it's looking like we are probably going to lose to this thing. Unless there is, wow, weak to dark. Okay, 180 damage. Unless there's something that I can do here to, let's see, we're going to go up with this one because I want to keep the one with my Beast Energy on it kind of safe, just in case. Let's Ultra Space and just get some more action going on here. That's fine. Get a new Blacephalon. I'm cool with it. Thin the deck a little bit. Beast Ring again. Let's throw 2 more Fire Energy onto somebody. And then I guess I do need to Lost Zone 2 Fires. And I don't actually have any in the discard pile. So that's fine. Sure, we'll do 2 off the active. And I kind of have my board spread out so that I can attack with any Blacephalon I want to. There's my Lele. So I can Wonder Tag out of this situation, which is good. And there is a Jirachi. All right, so maybe I should have been playing my Alolan Muk all along. That being said, I did utilize Let Loose, and I did also, I may also utilize this Tapu Lele-GX, so I don't really mind not getting the Muk out quite yet, though I just have no idea what I'm playing against, so that's all well and good. It is kind of a weird, you know, little interaction you have in this deck. You really love your basic Pokemon's abilities. You love Tapu Lele-GX, and you love Let Loose. Let Loose is one of the strongest aspects of this deck. And then to shut it off with Alolan Muk, obviously you do it when it's more of a hindrance to your opponent than it is to yourself. So a lot of times you're not going to be doing that. It looks like my opponent just missed what they needed, and we were able to get there with Blacephalon. Cool. So we'll roll another one here, see if we can get another good game in with this tournament winning list. And I'm excited to see what the meta shakes up to be. Surely Zoroark decks will start to accommodate for Blacephalon in the metagame after realizing that it is a very real threat. I think Alolan Muk will probably still be a popular choice in a lot of decks, just because if Zapdos ever goes unchecked with Alolan Muk, then we've already seen the Zapdos can win in international championships. I mean, it can win the biggest of the big tournaments if not for Alolan Muk. So Alolan Muk will probably be a mainstay in standard format as well. Also really excited about the Toronto Regional Championships expanded format. Just going to see what the meta shakes up like there with the addition of new cards from Team Up and Expanded. So that's really, really exciting as well. I think that Pikachu Zekrom is going to be like a huge deck. I mean, that thing just gets absolutely crazy in expanded format with max elixirs and just all those consistency cards. Shaman EX as well. Absolutely nutty, all the options that you have for Pikachu Zekrom in expanded format. Colress, just draw you a ton of cards, right? You can get very explosive turns. You'll find that the stadium even easier with computer search. Get yourself that Thunder Mountain out into play with ease. I think a lot of players are going to be playing Mr. Mime in order to try and stop Tag Bolt GX. Then, of course, here we go, a Pikarom deck. Then, of course, you can play your own Silent Lab to counter people's Mr. Mime. So we have that whole interaction going on, which already we saw with the Wailord Magikarp Tag Team GX. This is an awkward starting hand. Nobody wants 3 Beast Rings in their opening hand, dude. Like, that is just not what I want. That being said, we will deal. I guess I could go just let loose turn 1 and just say, you know what, never punished. You could do that. Lillie for 5 is not bad, but it's also not good. So sure, let's go full greed here. All right, if I get punished for this, I'm sorry, guys. Let's go. We're going with the let loose. Limit my opponent to 4 cards. Never punished. Here we go. We've got Heat Factory and Cynthia and another Blacephalon. I'm into it. So we'll do that. And I don't think I actually want my other Blacephalon down quite yet. I'd rather see some other cards. We've got a Fire Energy, but no Poipoles. I think I would rather get some Poipoles down, to be honest. So let's try to Heat Factory first. And sure enough, still no Poipoles. That's fine. I'll just attach here, and it's going to be Pass Town. So this is not going to be an explosive turn 2, 250 damage, unfortunately, but I can burst GX next turn, which is fine, and I do have some draw cards in this hand that are going to allow me to maybe find some of those basic Pokemon that I desire here. Poipole, Ditto, it'd all be good. Even Alolan Grimer would be pretty good, since my opponent is playing a Pikarom deck with the Jirachi engine in it. They're going to start off with the turn 1 Erikas. I don't actually have that many Pokemon in play, so it's not the best turn 1 supporter for them. They may just get an energy on a Pikarom and have to pass, which is cool, because I will just Burst GX. I got no problems using Burst GX here early as I try to amass a little more energy in play. The Pikachu Zekrom puts me on an odd prize count with 3. So Burst GX combined with a knockout on Pikachu Zekrom means that I'll just have to clean up with like 1 more knockout on a Zorora or something like that, which is pretty rad. So that's kind of how I'm imagining mapping up the matchup here. Looks like my opponent's going to escape rope. That's fine. I plan on using Burst GX, so I'm going to throw up my other Blacephalon here. And they're just going to Stellar Wish a couple times, as they probably hunt for a better supporter, if I had to guess. It is interesting to see that they do have like switch cards in their deck, and the Jirachi engine kind of looks and feels like a Zapdos engine, just with some big old Pokemon GX on board. And they're just going to pass. So Balls in our court. We do have our fire energy here. I'm just going to attach that so that I can be stabilized, and then I am going to see 3, 4, 5. I mean, I guess I do want to save my bench space for Poipoles and Dittos and things like that, so I don't really want to put down that Blacephalon, and that is very good. We're going to Heat Factory, discard that. We've got an excellent draw off of the Heat Factory. We'll gladly just go in and get myself no more Poipoles, huh? Really? Okay. That means that a prize 2. Okie dokie. So I will grab myself a Naganadel for next turn, which is always kind of a feel bad, but fine. And then I will Ultra Ball away, I guess, the Mysterious Treasure and the and I have to go get the Ditto. All right. So we'll do that. Thank goodness for Ditto being in here. It's excellent. And that is how we are setting up. Sure, Burst GX. We'll take our prize, and hopefully it is a fire energy. It's the Poipole, of course, because I prized 2 Poipole. So goodbye. And we're like sitting pretty chill here. I don't mind this. I've got Lillie for maybe 4 or 5 cards next turn, and if my opponent takes a turn 2 knockout on my Blacephalon, it's not great. But I will tie it. I'll take the lead still in prizes if they do, because assuming that I can knock it out, they will take 2 prizes, I will take 3, which would then set me to only 2 prizes remaining, and they have 4. So we can see how a normal GX Pokemon like Blacephalon can trade very well with a tag team Pokemon like Pikarom, and you really realize how devastating losing 3 prizes is when you're playing against a deck that can one-hit KO anything like Blacephalon. That difference in prize trade is just extremely significant. So let's see here. They are going to Guzma up the Ditto, and it looks like they're just going to take a knockout with the Zapdos there, which is totally fine. They notice that I'm kind of on a weird prize count. I think they want to limit my energy options, try to limit me from being able to KO their big Pikachu Zekrom, and I think that's fair by taking out the Ditto. Definitely reasonable. So I am going to have to promote Blacephalon. I do not want to... I do not want to have to mind-blown the Zapdos, but that kind of looks like the situation that I might be in. So let's just go ahead and Cynthia. I'm going to look for some more cards. Excellent. So I think here we have a fire energy already. I don't necessarily want to Heat Factory and kind of give myself the opportunity to miss that. My opponent knocks out my Naganadel. It could be in kind of a pretty sketchy spot, not gonna lie. So let's just attach this here, and then I think we just have to do it. Mind blown for 3 feels absolutely horrendous against this Zapdos, but it's just the only play that I have right now. Could Ultra Ball, I suppose, get myself something else, but there's a Poipole. That's very good. Finally. We can slap that Poipole down next turn, so even if my opponent does knock out my Naganadel, I'm going to be on my Beast Ring turn, going to be able to throw some more energy into play with Beast Ring, Ultra Ball my hand down, Lillie for hopefully a big draw. I think that now that Zapdos is out of the picture, they pretty much have to go in with the Pikachu Zekrom, and if they do, I'm going to be just 1 card away, 1 prize card away from winning, assuming that I can knock it out. Though, if they do knock out the active Blacephalon, I am looking like I'm going to need... I got a charge up on my bench Naganadel, an attachment from turn that's 2 energy. I need 5. So I'm going to need 2 Beast Rings in order to take a knockout on the Pikachu Zekrom. I already have 1 accounted for, so I'm going to need to draw into another, or else that Pikarom will live through the turn, and I will probably lose the game if I had to guess. We do need to be a little wary of Tag Bolt GX. My opponent being able to take like a 3 prize turn is really tough, especially if they take it on my Naganadel and a Blacephalon in the active position. But fortunately right now, my opponent doesn't have a lot of energy in play. They've been wary of full blitzing. They've been kind of scared of doing that. Looks like with Tapu Koko Prism Star coming out, though, they are ready for the full blitz. It's going to be coming into play now, and I'm expecting the Blacephalon to go down, so we're going to need a big turn in response. What's sketchy is that now that my opponent only has 5 prizes remaining, they can just win if they get the right combination of cards. If they're able to full blitz onto a benched Blacephalon or a benched Pikachu and Zekrom, and then I can only knock out the active. If they are able to then go from, do they miss the switch card? That would be pretty crazy. If they're able to go and full blitz onto a benched Pikachu Zekrom, then turn that benched Pikachu Zekrom from a 3 energy Pikarom to a 6 energy Pikarom in one turn, they could tag Bolt GX for win, which would be insane. They could knock out my active Blacephalon and a bench Naganadel. So you can see how quickly this matchup can get out of hand. They are very easily able to map out these final 5 prizes here, even though I felt like I was in the lead and kind of, cruising through this. It's just not really the case. They were just biding their time with Zapdos for the right moment, but they missed the switch card, which opens up a huge door for me here to take the lead. Really tough break there from my opponent. This is exactly what I wanted to see. I think, honestly, I just need to find an energy. So it makes the most sense, in my opinion, to probably just Lele for Cynthia and Erika's. I think Erika's, my opponent's bench is full. 5 cards. Erika seems pretty good. That way I can hang on to this Beast Ring and Naganadel in my hand. I just got to Ultra Ball away the Lillie and the Naganadel, which is fine. This is a good hand. And then we are going to grab probably just 1 card to thin my deck. It's going to be Marshadow. And then we can Erika's Hospitality for 5 cards. I like this because I get to keep the Naganadel in my hand. I get to keep the Beast Ring. A lot of cards that I definitely want. And then we'll just charge up 1 time here. It's good. And then I get to attach to my active Blacephalon and take a knockout. I only need to Lost Zone 1 energy here. So we're just going to Mind Blown off of the active. And I hit for weakness, and now we're in a great position since my opponent missed that attack. Granted, they could go and tag Bolt, which would be bad, right? If they are able to go from 3 to 6 and tag Bolt here, I did not counter the state. Did I just get that stadium in my hand? I feel like I didn't have that previously. That might have just came off the prizes, but all they need is 2 more energy, and they're going to be tag bolting for 3 prizes, take me off my Beast Ring turn, and they just win the game there, which would be horrendous, right? So that's the crazy thing about this Pikachu Zekrom deck, is that they can just completely play around my Beast Ring turn, which appears to be what my opponent is trying to do. They just need 2 more energy. It's crazy. I mean, they can't energy switch is the thing. They don't have any energy to energy switch from, so they would need to play a Rayquaza down or something like that. They've already used their Tapu Koko Prism Star, but it looks like they don't have any way to get 2 more energy on that Pikarom this turn. But if they did, they would surely win, and that is very frightening here. It looks like they're just going to full blitz my Naganadel and hope that I can't respond. That's fair. They were literally just like 1 energy short of winning that game. It's absolutely crazy. And they're going to throw all the energy onto that active Pikarom, just putting it out there, just saying, you know what, if you got it, you got it. And that will be game anyway. So we'll promote our Blacephalon with the energy. Fortunately, we do get that Beast Ring turn, which is awesome. So we'll accelerate 2 energy into play here on our bench Blacephalon. We're going to evolve that Naganadel. We've got this energy going on to the active, and actually that's just game. So we've got it here, 5 energy, all we need to Mind Blown for 250 damage. Very close game though. It just was still very grindy. My opponent was able to bide their time, and if some cards fell the right way, they were going to be able to take multiple knockouts, play around that Beast Ring, and surely win. So we got our final prize cards there. We're able to overcome that, even though we prized a lot of Poipole's Zach Lesage's Blacephalon deck looking strong as ever. Going to show off that list one more time. It's also in the description below. Hopefully you guys were all able to catch the Nintendo Direct this morning. That was extremely exciting. We've got Pokemon Sword and Shield coming late 2019. How incredible does that game look? Tell me your favorite starter in the comments below. I'm interested to hear it. I think I am on the bunny team, okay? I think I'm team bunny rabbit, all right? I think the bunny rabbit's super cute, though I do think all of the starters look really phenomenal. The artwork for the game just blew me away. I had chills running up my spine. It was way too cool, man. So that was really exciting. Also, it's Pokemon Day. This was the day that Pokemon was released some 20 years ago in Japan. So happy Pokemon Day. Hopefully you guys are enjoying that, celebrating by hopefully checking out the trailer for the new Pokemon game Sword and Shield, the new Nintendo Direct, and also the brand new trailer for the Detective Pikachu movie, which I am just beyond excited for. Full Grip Games and Tricky Jam are going to be partnering up with some of the, I guess, promotional team for the Detective Pikachu movie, and we're going to be doing giveaways for movie tickets to the new Detective Pikachu movie in theaters May 10th here during our Wednesday night league tournaments, and then also during some of my streams. So that is some very exciting stuff on the way. Hopefully you guys will all stay tuned for that. Check out the new Detective Pikachu trailer, which just looks absolutely incredible as well. So much exciting stuff on the Pokemon front here for 2019. Hopefully you all are having an incredible day. Make sure to check out all of the sweet links in the description below: fullgripgames.com, the Patreon, the Teespring, and also twitch.tv/TrickyJim, where I do stream every single weekday. So please make sure to check that stuff out. And big shout out to my Patreon subs and, of course, Jessica for winning that Snorlax and Eevee. Matt, y'all are incredible. Have a fantastic day. Peace.